The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
A new report about Aaron Rodgers' future with the Jets is out from the NFL Network. We'll talk about that plus more after yesterday's debacle. Will Parkinson joins us in his weekly spot. Let's hit it and get it started. Man.
This is the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Yes, indeed it is. Happy Cyber Monday, real quick. Even if you're not a Patreon member, for today only, code ASMAN15 at jakeasman.com/shop will save you 15%. If you are a Patreon member, use the code that I gave out a couple days back, and that will get you 25% off. But if you want any Jake Asman Show merch discounted for today, shout out to everyone who supports the channel. jakeasman.com/shop. Get a coffee mug, a hat, bucket hat, winter hat. You name it, it is all available at jakeasman.com/shop. Asman15 for 15% off here on Cyber Monday. Before we bring on today's guest, I want to update everybody on the guest who normally joins us every Monday on the show, the great Joe Beningo. He has COVID. Joe called me earlier. He was supposed to come on this afternoon, and he's not doing great health-wise. So he's hoping he'll feel better tomorrow, and he'll join us at 10 a.m. So Joe normally joins us Mondays at 10. We pushed it back to the afternoon. Joe not feeling great, so everyone wish Joe be the best. And this won't surprise anyone, but when I spoke with Joe on the phone, he told me he blames the Jet loss for his illness. He says it weakened him to a point where his body was susceptible to COVID, and he's being completely serious. And you know what? Who am I to judge? I believe him. So Joe, hopefully feeling better, will join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. in his normal spot on the show. Joining us right now is the great Will Parkinson, who sat at MetLife Stadium and watched that debacle yesterday in person. Will, thanks for the time as always, man. How are you?
Great, man. Loving life. Another fun year. I think I've done this for 3 full seasons now, joining you on Mondays, and we've watched a combined 17 wins. Yes, we've done, about 51, almost 51 of these, and we might not break 20 wins. It's amazing.
It's hard to believe, but there's a good chance this team maybe loses out. And if that's the case, this run of Aaron Rodgers for 2 years accumulated a total of 3 wins with him as the starting quarterback. I'm not counting week 1 last year when he technically got credit for a win. Like, that is absolutely insane when you think about it.
It's yeah. I was just sitting there yesterday. Jake, I don't know how, some people were kind of over Rodgers. Some people still have hope with Rodgers, et cetera. It kind of varies depending on who you talk to, age, I guess their battle scars as a Jets fan. And I thought up until pre-Colts game, there was a shot that it could work here going forward, right? I thought, hey, he'll get healthier. The injuries, first year in the system, next year with a real head coach, could they kind of be more of the team we thought? And, there's the different things. And I thought bridge-wise, maybe it's just name value and some of the more traditional stats in terms of passing touchdowns, even sometimes yards, et cetera. Like, hey, he's probably the best option they have, and they'll draft a guy. And, that's the best way to get something out of this core next year and keep them engaged, et cetera, right? The Colts game was obviously, he had some moments, but generally, like Rodgers has been all year, outside of a couple of games, really inconsistent. Drive to drive, game to game, series to series. You don't even really know what you're getting. Play to play, Jake. Like, you don't know what you're getting. And they go back to the bye, and I think it's starting to trend towards, not not great. And then after yesterday, it feels like I don't know, if I was doing an over-under right now, how many more games he starts this year, I'd probably go under 2.
You don't think he finishes the year as a starter?
I don't.
Now, we know he's starting Sunday against Miami. Ulbrich has said that.
Maybe he does, right? I believe, in order to, what's he at? And this is something that I know people don't give a shit about, but he does. He's 6 touchdowns away from 500. I don't know if he's planning on playing next year. I don't think anyone knows. I think, there's obviously talk one way or another. He may or may not. I wonder if he's trying to get to 500 and then they'll kind of throw in the towel and whatever. I don't know, Jake. I really don't, but it feels like it's close to 0% chance he's back here. I'll never put something at 0 because who knows? But I think at this point we're looking at, I don't know. It's probably I don't know if he played his last game at MetLife. That's where I'm at. I'm kind of like, do they let him finish out with a Jags team and hope he can stat pad the next 2 weeks, get to 500, and then his hamstring bulks up again?
What's the point of benching him, though? If he has said he wants to play, I think he takes a lot of pride in coming off this injury, being able to say he played a full season, even if we're all seeing a guy who's clearly not anywhere close to what he was. Like, what's the benefit of benching him and, embarrassing him publicly by benching him if he says he's healthy? I don't see the win for the Jets to do that.
I don't really either. I think it's more of a morale. I think it's more of a it doesn't necessarily help them. It's not like, but does it give them enough of a spark that they can kind of get a little bit extra out of Garrett, and they can, hey Garrett, like, I know it's been a really frustrating year and you've gotten a lot of targets, but a lot of times it's been some empty targets, and I know you're frustrated, and we'll see what happens with Brees and the knee and stuff, but Conklin and Adams and these other guys, and it's like, hey, let's just see what we can do, and we know we're gonna have to pay Garrett in 3.5 months. Can we get Garrett feeling really good, warm and fuzzy inside? I'm going, hey, if Tyrod's our quarterback for the first 6 weeks next year before we turn it over to another guy or whatever, I don't know. I'm just using a scenario, obviously. Does that make Garrett feel better going into the offseason? And it's like, I don't know, Jake. I'm not saying to bench him. I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. He's not going to be here next year. And you'll wonder, does it get to a point where, like, these guys, the core guys who will be here, get too frustrated with, like, kind of what's going on, that they kind of, like, have to do it? Again, I think Rodgers, I know people are going to say whatever, but, like, when you've played this long and this hard and been this incredible, 500 touchdowns does matter. And again, the Jets season is over in terms of making the playoffs, right? Like, I'm not expecting Jets fans to give a crap about Rodgers getting 500 touchdowns, but I do think that it matters to him. And if there's any uncertainty of how much he, is going to play next year, I do think he's going to want to get to that number. And, I just don't know. Do they go the A-Rod 2016 route? That's what I keep going back in my head. Do they kind of give him, if he can get to 500, once A-Rod got to 3,000 hits, if you remember, Jake, obviously you're a diehard Yankees fan. When he got to 3,000 hits later that year, it was like, phew. Now we can move on, and we'll take the big cap hit in 2017. The Yankees obviously were able to figure it out. I know it's different. There's no cap. You get my overall point. Like, I think that to Rodgers,
it's a good theory, Will, because I haven't seen anyone bring up the 500 touchdown thing. I'd keep playing him at this point. I don't see the difference. Yeah. Tyrod Taylor's got a history of injuries, so if you're planning on him maybe being a bridge for you next year, I don't need him playing meaningless games and getting hurt, and that affects him maybe learning a new system, a new offense with players that are going to be brought in the offseason, right? I don't think it's worth it, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, it'd be great if they had Jordan Travis available to play, because this is the scenario you would play him, but he's not healthy.
Jake, I'll say this, and I know people are going to get pissed about this. If I'm a Jets fan, which everyone I'm sure listening is, I would operate as if Jordan Travis will never play for this team. And I think anything that he can get, if he can get on the field next year and practice fully in camp, that's a win. If he can play in a preseason game, that's a win. If he can get himself to be a competitive enough player injury-wise to be able to be on the field in a game, that's a win. I just think that I think you're doing yourself a disservice. Not you. I don't mean you. Or anybody, a disservice. If that injury is really gross and it really wasn't that long ago. And at this point where he's at injury-wise, I hope that he's able to have a full offseason, being able to work out and train and practice in OTAs, even in non-contact stuff the right way. I hope he's able to figure it out. And I pray, I really hope that this injury was not the end of his football career. And I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying if it's probably better to operate as if he'll never be able to play. And then hopefully it happens. And it's like this incredible story. I've seen a lot of stuff on my timeline. I won't air people out, but I've seen a lot of like accounts that were like, he's the future. Like the Jets drafted him, I think, in hopes that he would be a guy who could be our long-term backup with starter bridge level Tyrod-ish potential in terms of like kind of what Tyrod's been, which is like a really good spot starter. One of the best 35 quarterbacks in the league, but probably 32 or 33. And I just want to mention that I saw some folks asking last night about Travis, but he's not even like practicing, man. Like
he was supposed to be by this point, but as Obrick said earlier in the week, he's had multiple setbacks, which doesn't sound good.
And look, it's unfortunate, man. It's just that injury. Like, if you have a soft stomach, I don't know if not everyone's seen it. It's really gruesome. And again, I hope that he's able to make it back in time in order to, to play football. It was worth the pick all day long. To me, that's the worthwhile shot. I like going to running backs. I thought it was a worthwhile shot. I like the thinking. The Jets should every single year in perpetuity until me and you are no longer on this planet. And then 100 years after that, you should always take a quarterback on day 3. You should every time, because if you miss 9 times, guess what, buddy? Because if you hit once, you have a Dak Prescott, you have a Kirk Cousins, you have your Brock Purdy, I'm not even going to go the Tom Brady route, but you have your Rome, like you have even a long-term backup that makes $850K a year, as opposed to paying. I love Tyrod, we all do, but he's making $6-7 million. That $6-7 million could have been spent on John Franklin Myers, right? The 6-7, that's so. It's nothing against Travis. It's an incredible story that he's even able to walk, let alone the fact that he's able to, try to play football right now. I would just operate in very large caution that I don't know that we're ever really going to see it, and I hope we do.
Let's get to the report that came out yesterday morning. So before the games, right? And, as we talked about at the top, there was a thought, hey, Rodgers not on the injury report. If he plays well down the stretch, would a new GM and coach come in and assess their options and go, he gives us our best chance for a year. We'll draft someone behind him, but we want to run it with Aaron Rodgers and a new offense next year. Rodgers made the comment that, Todd Downing and Nate Hackett being with the Jets next year is not a deal breaker for him. He'd be willing to learn a new system. So the thought was, all right, he's auditioning over these last 6, and then we know what happened yesterday. But according to Ian Rappaport, it's already going to be a long shot no matter what for Rodgers to be here next year.
Some huge decisions loom for the New York Jets after the season. Who's going to be the coach? Who's going to be the GM? Is Aaron Rodgers going to be the Jets quarterback in 2025? And you mentioned the money. You're right, none guaranteed. They do owe him a $35 million option bonus if they decide to bring him back. And my understanding is Rodgers is considered right now to be a long shot to return to the Jets. Those conversations will happen with the new power brokers after the year, but that is my understanding of where it stands right now. Rodgers is, as you mentioned, having the worst stretch of his career. And they say for older players, the first thing to go is the legs, and he has been battling several different leg injuries this season. There's a small bit of good news. He is finally off the injury report. Not saying he's 100% healthy, but finally off the injury report. There are some good vibes, I guess. So we'll see what the Jets can do today, Rich.
I mean, we saw him look healthier, no doubt. He was running around. He extended plays with his legs. He threw a lead block on the trick play with Malachi Corley, but the accuracy wasn't there. He missed some throws. He threw his first ever red zone pick 6. And as I showed on the first show, Will, we've reached the Zach Wilson corner for Aaron Rodgers. Now, this is just week 13, but this is how poor he played in this game yesterday. I don't care what the overall numbers show, oh, he threw 2 touchdowns. Watch the games. Watch the throws he's missing. Watch the all 22, which we did this morning. You cannot tell me it's in the best interest of the Jets to run it back with Aaron Rodgers in a 1-year scenario and delay the dead cap from $49 million in 2025 to $61 million in 2026. It does not make sense based on how he has played.
Yeah, yesterday again was just so weird, man. Like the first up until your tweet. No, I mean, look, up until that interception, like, was it perfect? No, but it looked really good. And it was like, oh wow, like they're running kind of a modern offense and they're using play action and Rodgers is moving around and actually like being able to evade a rush, and he's not playing perfect, but the whole thing, like, it'll look good, and this has some shots, but it's over. Here long term, and I don't know that Rodgers really wants to be here long term. It's hard to really tell. He says all the right things in a lot of senses, but I don't know that he wants to. In hindsight, I don't blame the Jets at all for trading for him. I thought it was the right move. I still think it was the right move. I have no issue with what they did. They had to. It was their last ditch. And not for nothing, I'd rather be having that. I would have rather have the Aaron Rodgers experience for the last 18 months and given some hope as opposed to mopey loser Derek Carr and or whatever it may have been. But Aaron probably should have walked away off Lambeau in 2022, and it probably should have been that, and his legacy, and and whatever. There would be not the amount of hated he's taken the last 18 months and all this stuff. And I think we would have been like, wow, this guy basically retired winning MVPs, and it kind of felt over in 2022, but there was legitimate reason to believe there was not a great Packers team, that Rodgers had the broken thumb on the throwing hand and the rib injury and stuff. And it was like, with a better Jets defense, with some of these young, exciting skill guys, and Rodgers kind of feeling rejuvenated, he's had a shot. And I don't know, it feels like it probably died September 11th, 2023, and play 4. And obviously the injuries kind of piled up this year, and a year out of the game when you're 40 years old. I think all of us kind of probably, including myself, who literally missed a year of football in college, and it took me a long time to get back to the speed of the game. And like, I even ignored it, probably was like, because he's such a smart football player, and he's such a, he's been such an incredible, awesome player, and he's had some moments this year, and I think we all got really excited in week 3, and and I can't emphasize enough how good he looked in that game. I mean,
I tweeted out the highlights today.
I know, I saw it.
I wish I knew it was the apex of the Aaron Rodgers era.
Yeah,
even MetLife. It's hard to look back now at that and be like, even when Rodgers moved around yesterday, he moved around great, but he was super inaccurate and all that stuff. It was just, he didn't look like this in camp. And you even look at Kirk Cousins, who's 6 years younger, obviously way less athletic, but Kirk Cousins can't put, any velocity on the football. I mean, it's atrocious too. So it sucks, man. It really sucks, and it's over. And it's a really disappointing year. I think on a lot of ways, this team, will be a lot better next year. And I'm not just saying that to be false positive. Like, it's literally, look at the roster, man. They're losing. I think they weigh 7 losses by a combined 3 points, or 3.6 points on average of their losses, of 7 of the losses. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I thought someone tweeted that out earlier. If I misspoke, 6 one-score games this year. They've lost by an average of 3.17 points.
Those flip in the NFL in a heartbeat. The core of this roster, I think, is really good, with a real head coach and a quarterback who, a quarterback who's going to kind of just run the offense. I think, they have a shot to be pretty decent. They'll be, why can't they be? Why can't they be what the Broncos and the Chargers and these other teams are, that, and the Steelers, that are like well coached, solid rosters that just like don't beat themselves. Like, there's a world in which that happens, but I think everyone kind of believes that around the building, to be honest, that like, this is not, I don't think it's a doomed, this is going to be the worst rebuild over 15 years. It's not, I don't think that's the case. There's a lot of really good players in that building, but right now, unfortunately, the quarterback feels a little bit like an energy vampire. They're horribly coached, obviously, and they find new ways to lose. And that's just the reality. NFL is very fickle. One year, look at the Vikings in 2021 or 2022. I apologize, Jake. I think they went 13-3 and won 11 one-score games. 2023, but they go 5-12, 6-11, whatever it was, 7-10, whatever they were. They pretty much lost all their one-score games. It reversed right back. And then this year, guess what? They're winning all their one-score games. This is kind of the way the NFL works. And some years you're great, some years you're bad. And the Jets had bad luck combined with not good quarterback play, horrendous coaching, bad injuries all over the defensive side of the football. It's been a mess overall, obviously.
Beyond frustrating. And look, we hold people accountable around here. Mike Collins writes in, Jet fans don't deserve the win. Ungrateful morons. Rodgers isn't the problem.
Jake, what do you say me and you were probably two of the biggest Rodgers fans, supportive of Rodgers, if anybody that does this stuff?
I would, Will. I also would say this to Mike. Your day is done.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
But wait, there's more. JV Free writes in, Jets fans are dumb losers. That's why the team sucks. You're all mostly idiots. Yep, the Jets are bad because obviously we're idiots. We're the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, his day is also done.
Into the shadow realm you go.
Aaron Rodgers is another sudden Liz Frank injury due to failure to vaccinate. I'm the dumbest person I know.
Get your fifth booster, Keith.
Anyway, now that we took care of that, boneless beans with a super chat. All super chats cut the line. You support the show. Appreciate you. Should be a 30 for 30 on this season's ineptitude. Well, we're just scratching the surface. I'm sure there'll be more articles that come out. We still got 5 games to go. And look, you said something, Will, that's beyond true. There are some good players on this team. It's a way better situation this go around than it was the last time the Jets were looking for a GM or head coach. But they have to get these hires right. And I don't know how you feel about bringing in a first-timer who's never done it. But for me, these hires need to be people that have done the job before, have experience, like not learning in the biggest media market in the world how to be an NFL GM or an NFL head coach. Like it's too important for them to get it right with the team they still do have after these last 2 years trying it with Rodgers and this playoff drought now at 14 seasons and counting.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like, I feel like I get labeled as a Rodgers apologist, and I just say honestly that he's not coming back next year, and then it's all the fans' fault. Look, Jets fans are very emotional. Most fans are. Texans fans all morning have been saying how that hit wasn't dirty. Like, this is what being a fan is. It's just you get yourself really high, really low, etc. Man, Curly's fired up today, buddy. But like, listen, but no, overall, man, like, it's just, this is one of those years that's been extremely disappointing. Like, I don't, it's just disheartening. It sucks. To put it blankly, it's extremely frustrating. I don't know. I don't even know what else to say, honestly.
Experience. Do you value it in this hiring process?
Not necessarily.
Would you prefer a first-time head coach or someone who's done it before?
I will walk you through my top 5 in order of preference as it stands on Monday, December 2nd at 4:45 p.m. Ken, I'm not going to cry. I've cried twice in my life. Appreciate the comment, buddy. 1 would be Vrabel for me. There'd be a gap. 2 would probably be Liam Cohen. 3, Jesse Minter. 4, Brian Flores. And 5, Aaron Glenn would be how I would rank it at the moment, based on what I believe this team needs, short term and long term. But as well as how these candidates can maybe handle the media, could handle New York, can emphasize this roster, where the NFL is going. So that's where my 5 would be as presently constituted. Only one of those guys would be a veteran head coach, as obviously I laid out. 4 of them, 3 of them are experienced coordinators. Actually, 2 are second-time head coaches. 3 of the 5 are extremely experienced coordinators and coaches. 2 of them are guys that are very young, very, very young coordinators, one on each side of the ball from really good trees in the NFL.
Jesse Minter's an interesting name. He's the Chargers defensive coordinator right now. What stands out about him? I haven't heard a ton of people bring him up.
Yeah, talking to people in some front office around the league, they're like, if the Chargers continue to do what they're doing, there's no chance this guy doesn't get a job. He is obviously the son of the coach. Ravens organization guy, was brought to Michigan by Jim Harbaugh, was a Michigan defensive coordinator for the national title team last year. And that Mike McDonald, Jim Harbaugh tree has gone to the Chargers this year, who got rid of, they cleared that roster out a little bit, tried to kind of competitively rebuild, something the Jets will obviously ideally being able, would like to be able to do. Has gone to the Chargers, called plays. I believe he's 41 years old, runs a very similar system to what's run at Michigan, what's run obviously at, wasn't run at Baltimore, what's run at Seattle, and, great leader, energetic, culture builder. I know it sounds a lot like Saleh in a lot of senses, but remember the Jets were kind of late on Saleh in a sense. Like Saleh missed his window when he was the hot coordinator. After the Super Bowl year, the next year he obviously goes back and they kind of fell apart a little bit due to some injuries and things like that. But Minter's a guy who everyone speaks extremely highly of. Again, younger guy, but very experienced in terms of different levels. Has had success at both levels. And that defense, the number 1 rated defense in the NFL, with Khalil Mack and Nick Joey Bosa kind of in and out of the lineup. Derwin James is not the same player he used to be. There's not a lot of names if you go down that Chargers defense and you're like, ooh, like you might pick out a few of the veteran big time money guys, but a lot of them you wouldn't know much of, and they've been fantastic. So he's a guy that he's probably the name that I think would get the least excitement out of the Jets fan base of those 5 they hired him. But I also think that around the league, the really smart people around the league would be the most excited about for the Jets, because they'd probably be betting a year early on a guy than a year late. And the Jets have just not, it feels like since maybe Rex was the last guy, and maybe I'm wrong there, but was the last guy who was like the Jets were almost on time or early with, as opposed to being late.
What are your thoughts on Trump return to glory, saying Jason Garrett for head coach?
Ooh. Jason Garrett, head coach, Matt Nagy, OC, Mitch Trubisky starting quarterback, and me and Jake hold hands and swan dive off the top of MetLife and face plant, splatter everywhere in the 50-yard line. That's what'll happen if that happens.
You are by far the dumbest, most pathetic piece of maggot-eating shit that has ever slid from a human being's hairy ass.
Thank you for that comment. Curly writes in, you could bring in Jesus Christ at head coach and the Holy Spirit at GM, and we'd go 5-12. Doesn't matter. Curly, I like you. You're a good guy. I met you in person. You drove Vman to the game for the home opener, which is an incredible gesture. But I think your brain is fried. I think no more internet today, all right? We're going to put you in timeout for 24 hours.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
I like Curly, so I might let.
I do too. Curly's a great guy, but my issue is that he's just kind of yelling into an abyss. He's commented at least 67 times, and
yeah, he's lost his mind. He's had a little too much internet today, so we had to shut him down.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I might change it to just 30 minutes. We'll see. We'll see if 30 minutes in the hole will calm him down a little bit.
Yeah, just do it. We're trying to help him out here. Look, man, the Jets were 7-10 in the last 2 years, so 5-12 is hysterical. That everyone's just going to go 5-12. It's unfortunate because I really truly feel like it becomes like a mental thing, and I get it. Like the Jets, mess with you mentally. They really will. But to just instantly in a defeated mindset, like, what's the point of even watching, man? Like, that's the thing with your mindset. Like, hate watching stuff is wild to me. I don't know. I don't get it. That's not how I operate. And maybe people operate differently, and that's more power to them, man. But like, that is just yikes.
If you think no matter what they do, they're going to go 5-12, then what's the point? I mean,
So why are you yelling into the abyss for an hour and a half?
Yeah,
I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, I could tell you a year ago the Washington Commanders had the second pick in the draft, and look where they are a year later. I could tell you that I was in Houston when a preacher was running the Houston Texans. They were on their third coach in 3 years, and now they're going to be in the playoffs for the second straight year. I could tell you if you look at the Denver Broncos, they brought in a real coach, and voila, they're going to be in the playoffs in year 2 in that head coach's tenure. You keep going down the line. There's a ton of examples of this. You have to hope the Jets get it right, and there's some names out there that I think would fix this, but we also got to be fair, too. It's not always the biggest name that is the best candidate. Like, if that were the case, Todd Bowles would have worked out with the Jets. If that were the case, Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas, by the way, would have worked out with the Jets. Like, the Jets have had the top guy before, and it still hasn't worked. They got to hire the right guy. That's the bottom line.
Gotta hire the right guy. That's it. Like, there's not much else to say. Like, they got to get GM, they got to get head coach right. They got to eventually get quarterback right, whether it's a bridge guy this year, upcoming, whether it's a rookie, whether it's a big splash, whatever it may be. They got to get it right. Like, it's just that simple. I mean, I don't, it's obviously a lot harder than, it's easier said than done, but Jake, I thought, you had Mike T on Friday, I guess, on the radio, and a pretty interesting thing that I don't think anyone really picked up on was he didn't say that the GM had to be first. That was an interesting, I mean, you would assume that it will be, but I thought that was an interesting point. I don't know if you picked up on that, but that was something I was like, oh, interesting. Like,
yeah, where's all the outlets covering that interview? Other than Connor Long of JetsXFactor.com, who's 13 years old. Where's ESPN covering that?
Cover Jake's show, man. What are you guys doing?
Come on now. I'm the reason why Fireman Ed apparently is not on the screen anymore.
Actually, it's your fault?
Well, he was very critical of Woody on this show, and now they didn't show him. So a lot of people have speculated.
Wow, that is.
I mean, you were there. They didn't show him once.
Yeah, hey, he hasn't been. They haven't done a Jets. I think we haven't done a Jets chant since like week 2.
Well, they showed Scott and Jetman, who are the other two people he does the chant with on the screen.
They only showed him one time. It was weird. I don't know. I will say this. There's a lot of issues with MetLife, right? In terms of, obviously, for biasly location-wise, it's frustrating. The image of MetLife, it's a much better TV stadium than it is, in-game stadium or in person. There's some decent parts about it, and the parking and traveling and all that stuff is whatever. The in-game experience, in terms of, they improved a little bit week 1 last year with the lights and the big intros and all that stuff, and that was really cool, and the fireworks and stuff. I thought they did a good job. I feel like they've punted on it like since then. It's the same music that they've been playing in the stadium for 12 years, and it's extremely frustrating. I know it's a stupid thing, but like, it really annoys me.
That's a real thing. You're a season ticket holder that spends hard-earned money to see the team.
No offense, like, I don't need to hear Sheck West every single third down. It's like extremely annoying. Like, I'm not at a frat party. Like, and this isn't Penn State. Like, please play something else. Do they only have the rights to Thunderstruck? I'm sure I'll get yelled at about these takes, but like, I'm sorry. Like, at some point, do something a little different. They're playing, country road. Dude, this isn't a game in Germany. Like, the Jets have nothing to do with West Virginia. Do something about New York if you want to do a sing-along. That's cool. But find something that's going to be the Jets thing and then keep it. Like, the Jets chant is the Jets thing. That's why it's cool when, wherever you go, there's Jets chants. Like, that's the whole it drives me. Like, you saw Texas. They're never going to create the Texas A&M environment. It's the NFL. It's very different. But power is Texas A&M's thing, right? Like, that's their thing. They embrace it. The 12th man, the whole thing. It'd be really cool if the Jets made an effort to like improve their in-stadium experience so it entice more people. People go. It's not that, and at points the stadium's really electric and fun, but at other points it's like, dude, like, what are we doing? I don't know.
I think it's fair.
No, it's nothing to do with the on-field product, but it does bother me a lot.
It should. You're a season ticket holder. I respect it. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. More super chats coming through the pipeline. Will's got a few minutes left. We'll get to this from Jesus Jerry. Will, you are the Jets GM. What's the selling point to keeping Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, AG, and JJ? Who's AG? Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, AG, and JJ.
I saw he's saying Ahmad.
Sauce Gardner. If after we go bridge quarterback in 25, why would they resign?
Money? Like this all.
How's Pittsburgh been able to keep all their good players despite not having a franchise quarterback?
Yeah, it's money, man. Like
they paid Watt, they paid Minka, they paid Hayward. I mean, look at their team.
If the Jets go to Garrett Wilson in the offseason and say, "Hey, Garrett, 4 for 120, 83 million guaranteed or whatever it is, and you're going to get paid a little more than what Brandon Ayuk did, who had better numbers than you, but you're probably a better player. We want you to be here. We're going to center our offense around you. You're going to be the New York market. You're going to make a ton of money off the field. We're going to get this thing right. You're going to be a leading drive it. You're going to be a captain, and you're going to get paid $30 million a year after getting paid 11. Garrett's going to probably take that deal, right? Or whatever the number is. I'm just making it like Breece Hall. No one pays running backs. Guess what? You're a second-round pick. We'd like to give you a 2-year extension on top of that. That's going to guarantee all of the money you would get on the franchise tag. You don't have to worry about year to year over those 2 years. We're going to just give it to you up front. We want to extend you for a 2-year, $24 million deal, essentially making it a 6-year deal. And after that, we'll reevaluate. Hey, Sauce Gardner, Derek Stingley is probably going to get 4 for 100. You're going to get 4 for 102. You're going to be the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. And you're going to be the highest paid Jet ever. And, you're going to be our franchise cornerstone and cornerback for the next half decade. And your number is going to be up on, if you get this thing right, your number is going to be up on the Ring of Honor. Hey, Jermaine Johnson, I'm not going to extend you right away because you're coming off an Achilles. But if I was going to, I'll pick up your 5th-year option and, we can have a conversation. Like the bridge quarterback thing, there's probably a better chance Garrett's happier playing with a bridge quarterback next year than the way his season's gone in 2024.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's kind of, I'm not saying you guys asked me what I would do if I was the GM. That's the conversation you have with these guys.
Well, I think Garrett's the easiest one to get done because he's a no-brainer. You want him here. He's a character guy. He's performed on the field. He's been an exemplary, teammate off of it. That's the guy you pay.
No, it's like kind of feels pretty self-explanatory, no?
Mm-hmm. Luppy checks in. The Lup man. We have a good core, and if we hire the right GM and coach, we will win. The power of positive thinking.
Well, it's just not even positive thinking. It's just the reality of the NFL. I can't stress this enough. I understand more than anybody how awful the last 15 years have been. I do. I truly do. I feel for every single person that's a fan of the Jets, whether you're a casual fan, whether you're a diehard fan, whether you cover the team, whether you live at home in your mom's bed. It doesn't matter. I feel for everybody. The Jets, the first 18 years of my life, from 94. I obviously wasn't watching football as I was coming out of the womb, but started watching really 97, went to my first game in 98 as a kid. From 98 or 97, really, if you want to count it through 2011, the Jets were in the playoffs pretty much every other year. They won the division. They were in 3 title games. I think they were in the playoffs 6 or 7 times in that stretch. It is what it is. These things go in waves. The Jets are in a horrible wave right now. The Detroit Lions were just in a horrible wave for 50 years. And guess what? Now they're the model organization in the NFL. The Dolphins, for all their up and downs, the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game since 2000. So this is what happens. The Niners could never get over the hump. They're never going to get back. And the Cowboys haven't been they're a model organization in the NFL. Everyone wanted to be the Cowboys. The Cowboys haven't won a playoff game and gotten to a conference title game in 35 years. This is what happens, man. This is the NFL. It comes and goes. It's unfortunate the way it's been going, obviously, to put it lightly without spazzing. But at the end of the day, it could turn like that. You get the right head coach. The Commanders were the laughing stock of the NFL, organizationally. Right now, they probably got the quarterback, probably got the head coach, probably got the GM, and all of a sudden, the Commanders are awesome. They might even go back to being the Redskins. 12 months ago, it was who in the hell wants to even go to a game, let alone go play for that team? It just, I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's just very different.
Super chat from Adam is too cool. Curtis Rourke as our day 3 quarterback. What do you think? So he's the Indiana quarterback. For those who don't know, I have done no quarterback study, so I have no comment on this because it's December 2nd, and I didn't think we'd have to talk about this. But Will, you watch a lot more college football than I do. Your thoughts?
Just curious, no other team has had a 50-year Super Bowl drought. That feels wildly inaccurate. There's a lot of teams who've never won a Super Bowl, so their drafts far whatever. Yeah, I mean, sure. Like I don't know, like yeah, take dart throws on day 3. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the super chat, Adam, but
No, I should say I appreciate it, but it's like I don't really.
We don't know who the GM is yet. You know.
Yeah, as I say, I don't even know who like. We don't know. We didn't know like 30 of the 53 guys that'll even be on the roster next year. Let's. I don't know yet.
Ooh, good question here from Brian. Will, if you could redo the draft, would you have taken Bowers?
No. Would you rather be looking for? Is the gap between Conklin and Bowers as big as the gap between Dwayne Brown last year and like just like I apologize. If the Jets were drafting him, had to take a left tackle in this draft, you basically be, you'd be in a really bad spot. I think that Brock Bowers is awesome. He's probably one of the 3 best tight ends in the NFL right now. The Raiders are 2-10, and like they look horrible. And he's their one outlet, and that's awesome. But I don't know. Olu was a goddamn rock yesterday, and he's only going to get better with playing. And it's a much bigger selling point, in my opinion, to a GM and a head coach coming in here saying, hey, you have a franchise left tackle, franchise receiver, franchise running back, and probably a franchise center at a minimum on offense to build around, and saying, hey, you need a left tackle and you need it. Like the tight end part's awesome, man. It really is. But I'd much rather need a tight end or a second tight end.
It's not a good tackle class either, so it's good that they got Olu when they did.
Olu would be going the top 4 in this draft. This is not a great draft. And it's unfortunate because, of course, the Jets are picking high, but there's some good players for sure. But I don't know. Olu looks like he's gotten better. He's played 2.5 starts at, or 2.5 games at left tackle. He's gotten better each time. I felt like it, when he's had flexibility to play other spots. I love how it's more just funny. I think everyone's just like thinks this roster all of a sudden sucks now. It's extremely, I don't know, it's comical. Last time everyone was saying this roster was awesome, 3 months ago. But and we'll take it, Jake. This is the ups and downs.
That time of year, Will. I've been doing this now for 4 seasons, and this is what happens.
Everyone's very angry. I get it. It's unfortunate.
Will, I appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on. Where can people find your award-winning podcast?
Yeah, TOJ Pod. Actually recording an episode in a few minutes. Going to be doing Will We Suck, buddy. I know, man. I know they suck. I'm at every game. I'm aware. TOJ Pod on the TOJ Pod feed and wherever you get your podcasts. Episode out tonight, and there'll be an episode Thursday. All 32 NFL pod. We talked about 20 minutes on the Jets and just kind of what's going to go on, going forward. That's came out today and Friday. And then lastly, TOJ Talks on the Badlands feed. Some exciting stuff will be coming up. Have some big guests planned. And then me and Jake will be starting to plan our stuff to, the off-season press tour. So, me and Jake will be doing a bunch of stuff together. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that. And like and subscribe to everyone's videos.
Let's go, baby. Will, appreciate you, man. Thanks for hopping on.
Appreciate it, guys. Take care.
Will Parkinson joining us in his weekly spot. For those who were expecting Joe B, another reminder, Joe's got COVID. I know he did his appearance on the other radio station in town. That's because they're paying him copious amounts of cash between you and I. Joe will be with us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Hopefully he's feeling a lot better. I know the Jet game yesterday, he believes, made him sicker, is what he told me. And I believe him. Jesus Jerry writes in, 20 years. I wake up at 3 a.m. to watch this team, FML. I mean, Jesus Jerry's on the other half of the world. That's diehard passion for this team. Never question the Jet fan base. They're incredible in this country. And I could tell you firsthand, after going to the London game this year and meeting Jet fans from all over Europe, I couldn't believe the following. Seriously, I did an event the night before the game at the Hippodrome Casino in London. And I figured, all right, we had like 350 RSVPs. Probably 250 of them would be Americans. Completely the opposite. Maybe 100 Americans. And out of the 350 who RSVP'd, 250 from all parts of Europe. The UK, France, Germany, Sweden. It was unreal. This fan base is incredible. and they deserve much more. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jets might be 3-9, but we have something real special. We have two people. In fact, it might not even be two people. In fact, I believe it's three people that are all together that will bring us, hopefully, a laugh or two. Buckle up.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I burped.
Nick Shine and friends joins us now. Hello, Nick.
Hi, buddy. How are you?
Nick, I'm fantastic. How are you?
All right. I am here and have to bring Addison to the airport.
Whoa.
And Addison, I don't know if you are aware of this, sometimes likes to enjoy the little California, New York, New Jersey, Vermont kush, wherever he is. He partakes. He calculated his airplane departure time on California time. So he was like 6 hours early leaving New York. So he has some extra time to kill. And I was like, all right. I'm like, let me finish what I got to do, and then I can scoop you. And then his first question is, can we see Charles?
Oh,
there you go,
the
buddy.
Great Charles Eugene M. Gorman has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the intro.
Hey, Charles! You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. Hey, I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
Let's go, baby. Let's go. What's up, Charles?
Hey, Jake. How are you, man? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was pretty good. You know, nothing that exciting, but nice to
Mine
enjoy
was
some
pretty
food
good,
and football.
man. Look, I know the game was an embarrassment last night. I told Nick, even though he was going to the game on Sunday, that they don't deserve to watch. They don't deserve us because they've been giving us shit content these past 10 plus years. And in a lot of ways, you kind of have to agree with that because we expect greatness. Well, we expect better, but they keep giving us shit. Excuse my language to all the little kids out there, but it's the truth. But I'm glad they had a good time at the game despite the weather and despite the collapse at the end. I was good seeing Addison in person for the first time. He's a good guy.
Hell yeah.
I'm doing good, Jake. I feel a lot better. I feel good, you know. Can't wait for the holidays, you know, and the new year. Just can't wait, man. I'm just taking it one day at a time. Still looking for work.
Any leads?
No, but Nick's gonna help me get my foot in the door.
I like it. Nick's a good guy.
Yes, he is. He's a good man, good family man. He's a good person.
Absolutely.
Don't you be telling lies about me on the internet, Charles.
I said you're a good family man. What the hell is wrong with you?
Nonsense, they say.
Anyways,
how's your father, Dennis, doing?
Oh yeah.
My father's doing good. He's still working his two jobs. Works at ShopRite and at Target.
Very nice.
My mom's doing good. She's got a doctor's appointment right now.
Tell her I say hello. Big fan.
Thank you. My brother's doing good. He just got home from work, so he's doing good. I introduced him to Nick.
I love it. Now, what's on the agenda tonight, Charles? What are we having for dinner?
I already had dinner. I had pizza with Goodfellas.
Oh, very nice.
You had pizza with the Goodfellas at Goodfellas. Hell yeah, Charles.
I had pizza with a couple of good chumps.
Hey.
Chums.
All right.
What do you say? What do you thought I said? Chumps?
Yeah.
My bad. I meant to say chums.
All right, good. Thank you.
At Goodfellas. And I'm going to go live at 6.
What are we talking about?
Something involving one of my favorite characters that has been bugging me for quite some time. But anyways,
Bobby?
Bobby's not a character, you meathead.
He is the character, Charles.
Did you say
He's
Bobby?
a character, but not a character that I'm talking about.
Okay.
You said Bobby?
No, it's not about Bobby, no.
Did you say Bobby's a character?
He is a character, but not the character. Hi, Bobby. How are you?
Hello, Charles. How you doing?
Good.
He was just talking to
Okay,
him.
so you're going on at 6. You don't want me to go on?
You could go on, Bobby. I don't give a shit.
I don't want to step
Not
on you, Charles.
apologizing to the children that time?
Sorry, kids. Charles is a bad
Okay.
influence.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Why did he do that? What did he do that for?
Was I cursed?
There was somebody cursing.
We can't curse on Jake's show.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'll be back. Okay, so you heard the Discord probably. I'm sorry, guys. So it's nice to see you, Charles.
You too, Bobby. Hope you get better, okay? Sorry,
On the
Jake
lap.
did that to you.
Oh, yeah, he said I asked for it all week. I told him not to touch me. I told him.
Oh no!
I just lost my balance when he did it, you know?
He humped you? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I would have. He humped you, Bobby?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. He banged me. He banged me.
If someone did that to me, I would go Mortal Kombat on their ass.
You had to see other stuff we did that night, right, Addison?
Like what?
The night wasn't over then. The night was over then. The night was not over then.
Hell yeah.
After we got the pizza, we all had to go to the bathroom, so I had to take a pizza.
PPM says he's got a bone to pick with me. What do I do?
Yo, I was trying to get on your show, man, for like months now.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. The fuck?
I'm sorry. Did I give you the link?
I honestly don't remember.
Purple Belt Mike. I'm such a jackass.
It's been a while.
How you doing, Purple Belt Mike? I haven't seen you in person. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Me and the dog
I know
chilling.
you wanted to talk about
No,
the God of the Symbiotes. I'm so sorry, man. I've been sick. I've been so much with shit. I'm so sorry, man.
it's all good. It's the Jets. You just blame the Jets, and it's fine.
It's been the Jets, well, because the Jets, I forgot one comedian says the Jets will always F you or something. It's always something about that. Artie
That
Lang.
video of Bobby is legendary. That is the best video I think we've ever had.
Oh no!
Oh fuck, that's awesome.
Anyways,
so funny. Yeah, man. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. I was just messing
No
with you. No
problem, man. No worries. How's your family holding up?
Everybody's good.
Nope, thank you,
Life's
man.
good.
God bless.
Mom and Dad's good. I was at my parents' house today. I did all
That's
their
awesome,
Christmas
man.
decorations.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
How's the Gormanis? Everybody good?
Why does everyone keep calling my family the Gormanis? Gormans. Gormans are doing good.
Jake said that the real name is
He's
Gormani.
making shit up.
No, it was changed at Ellis Island.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't believe.
So wait, that's not
Gormani
true?
crap.
I thought it was real.
I think it's just
it's
made
real.
up garbage.
But he brought up the Ellis Island papers. He put on the show. He went to Ellis Island and brought up the papers.
What papers?
It's Gormani.
The important papers?
Yeah.
The toilet papers?
Rolling papers?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Look, man, my last name is Gorman. It's Irish for first and last in war. Anyways, it's good to see you, Purple Belt Mike. I was like, PBM, who the hell? I was thinking of PB, peanut butter, somebody. It was,
Peanut butter Mike.
Yeah, peanut
Love
butter
that.
Mike.
Yeah, peanut butter
Listen, man,
Mike.
whenever it's good for you, man, I'll let you know. When is it good for me to do?
You're going live right now.
Don't come on at 6.
Yeah, you're going at 6.
You know what? You could drum my show at 6.
6 isn't good today.
Well, that's not.
That's when my wife gets home.
Come on, Mike. You're calling him out and out the first voice.
Come
on, Mike.
Stinks.
Oh yeah.
You're now brown belt, Mike. This is unprofessional.
He stinks.
Brown belt is a promotion.
I have no idea what I'm talking about with karate.
Brown paper.
Or martial arts.
Yeah.
Look, Purple Belt Mike, don't worry about it, man. Let me know what day is good for you, and I'll make it up to you, okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Have a good day, all right? God bless.
Peace.
Anyway, so I'm going live at 6.
Without purple belt, Mike.
Without Purple Belt Mike, because he's a busy dude, and that's okay.
Heck yeah.
Anyone who wants to join my show is more than welcome to, as long as they're mature, well behaved.
I'm out.
Can I join?
Yes, you can join. And as long as they don't say any bigoted stuff on my channel, as long as they don't.
Whoa.
Hope I said bigoted correctly.
Bigoted.
You did?
As long as they are mature, and as long as they respect other people.
Oh, yeah.
Who farted?
I did.
Wasn't me.
I did.
Because everyone's gonna make fun of me that farting in that one video. Anyways, you're more than welcome to join my channel. My channel's a welcoming community, as long as they're welcoming back. So, anyways, I'll give the phone back to Nick.
Charles, thank you. Great to hear from you. It's awesome that you got to meet Addison. Tremendous. Nick, thank you for making this moment happen. I think the chat needed some laughs. It's been a tough season, tough day yesterday.
Man. It's very tense time in the community, and
just remember, if you poop in your dreams, you poop for real.
Heck yeah. Just make
Really?
Wait, what?
Hold on, give him back the
you
phone.
had
I
the
have
phone
questions.
for 7 minutes, and you forgot to give that important piece of
we're not
advice
done
out
yet.
to the public?
Give him back the phone. I have questions.
Yeah, I do too. Here.
Explain yourself, Gorman.
Remember, and this is also to you kids out there, if you poop in your dreams, you poop for real. It's a true statement.
Have you pooped in your dreams recently?
No, but I came close.
Was it the night of sleep after this occurred?
Excuse me.
Oh, I did not shit my pants when I farted that one time.
Well, I appreciate you clarifying.
No problem, man.
Also, does anyone else find it ironic that Charles is talking about being mature to watch his show, and he's just ripping ass on his show?
Oh, Jake, you hold on, and you hold on right there. Charles is a man of the people, giving the people life advice. How dare you try to shame and shit on his idea, Jake? He is a man who wants to see everybody not poop their pants in their dreams. You should be as good a friend to the chat as he is, Jake. How dare you?
I do have a theory that fart that he ripped on the Charles Gorman show, there were some skid marks in the underwear, Charles admitted. That was a loud fart.
It wasn't a wet one, say that much.
He says it was dry. He says not a wet one.
All right, well, I don't have the underwear to verify, so I guess I'll take him at his word.
Well, Charles,
I'll tell you what, Jake. I'll send my underwear to you to make sure that does happen.
Charles, if I make Jake Asman show underwear, would you wear it?
Depends.
Wait. Does that mean you want Jake Asman depends or Jake Asman underwear?
Depends on the style of the Jake Asman underwear. Depends.
Charles, do me a favor. It's about a 7-minute ride to get you home. Please, for the love of God, do not fall asleep in the car.
Charles, thank you for this call. Nick, Addison, tremendous. We'll get to work on the Jake Asman show underwear that Charles Gorman will be wearing.
Hell yeah.
It needs to be extra lined and sealed for those who fall asleep unexpectedly.
It's well said. Well said.
Jake.
Nick Shine, thank you for your
Keep being
service.
great, buddy. Talk to you
Ladies and
soon.
gentlemen, the Nick Shine, Addison, and Eugene M. Gorman.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I burped.
Now that is a show I'll be watching at 6. Incredible. Hit the like button. Bo says, Jake, give him a discount on merch for new underwear. Discount? I'm giving Charles Gorman underwear for free if we make Gorman-themed underwear. I mean, we dedicated the Charles Gorman tank top in his honor. It's on the merch store website. It literally says Charles Gorman inspired Jake Asman show tank top. That was a great call. Great call. Nate with a super chat. I miss Addison and Bobby. Yeah, they had a great connection, the two of them together. It was great to see. Craig in Australia. How about this? 2 super chats coming in from Australia today. He says, Jake, I've just tuned in. What's going on here? Well, Craig, unfortunately, when the Jets are 3-9, we have reached off-season mode on this show a lot earlier than any of us expected. God bless Charles Gorman. Ken with a question here. Would Jet fans trade a Super Bowl for 55 more years of fertility? You got to tell me what that entails. Is it going to be like the last 55 years where there's like, 2 division titles since the merger? And it's going to be, no Super Bowl appearances and maybe I don't even know how many times the Jets have made the playoffs total since their last Super Bowl, but in my lifetime, they've been there 6 times. Is it going to be like that? I wouldn't sign for that, even for the Super Bowl. But if you're telling me it's like that, it's not like that. You're telling me it's like, the Niners run, where you're good every year. You go to the Super Bowl a couple times. You go to the championship game. I'd rather that. Because this has been a nightmare. So they're going to win once and then that's it for 55 more years. I don't know. I want to be in the mix every year. I want to have great events every year and connect with this community every year and watch games and be in it every year. I guess one time, I'd sign for just seeing once, but I don't want it to be like the last 55 years where the team is brutal for a lot of it. If they're competitive every year, they're like the Steelers. They haven't won the Super Bowl in a while for their standards, but they're in it every year. The Ravens, the same thing. They're in it every year. If you tell me it's that, then yeah. But the Jet history, we have been through as fans, we say one title is worth it, but then they're just going to be bad and have 15-plus year playoff droughts every time. I don't know. Super chat from Jared. Jets clearly need a quarterback who could develop a young quarterback. Based on anticipated availability, who would you pick? Oh, they need a quarterback coach. To me, it's more about just getting the right head coach than a guy specifically for offense. Now I think the best of both worlds, maybe you get Kevin Stefanski if the Browns fire him, for example. Or you get, Ben Johnson, hypothetically. But if they hired Mike Vrabel, I'm not really worried about someone developing the quarterback. I'm going to trust that Mike Vrabel is going to put that quarterback in a situation where they have a chance to have success. This guy won a lot of games with Ryan Tannehill. He hired 2 OCs that became head coaches. He's doing something right. At least that's how I would try to look at it from that perspective. All right, hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions. Shout out to Booger McFarland, who just liked one of my tweets on Twitter. I just saw that. We'll get to more of your calls coming up. Jared says, how about Mike McCarthy? I'm okay on Mike. If Rodgers is not here, why are we hiring Mike anyway? And Rodgers won't be here. Perp about Mike, I do like Milroe. If he's there at 7, that's who I'd take. I like Milroe too. I don't know enough about him to tell you he should be the pick. I don't know enough about him that he's clearly a first-round guy, but we'll see. He's got a lot of talent. If he didn't have to play right away and you could develop him, I like that idea. I don't hate it. I need to learn more. If the Jets do have a top 2 pick, though, and they could take Cam Ward or Shador, imagine that. Honestly, as bad as this year has been, if Rodgers and this just season from hell somehow warrants you the next great quarterback, wouldn't that be nice for once? We find our Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud, get the team in the playoffs immediately. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in right now to the show. Yesterday, we played something that I think really inspired the Asmaniacs. If you missed it, here's Neil singing a song that will really tug on the heartstrings.
Don't let anyone say that it's just a game. For I've seen other teams play and it's never the same. When you root for the Jets, you're sick in the head. And when the Jets win, I may be long dead. Our hero is Ed and he wears jet green. This is the worst team that I've ever seen. Despite all the losses, the ups and the downs, the coaches, they come and they go. Keeping traditions and wishes made new. The place where our grandfathers and fathers grew. the spiritual feeling if I ever knew. And if you don't watch Jake, I feel sorry for you. And when the day comes with that final Super Bowl run, and I'm drunk and I'm covered in beer, I'll look to the sky and I know I was right to say, someday we'll go all the way. Yeah, someday we'll go all the way. Let's go, Jets.
All right, we're back. And we have some ambassador to the UK news I wanted to talk about. Because it won't be Woody Johnson. Breaking news, baby. Trump has picked somebody else. He has picked businessman Warren A. Stevens. Now, this does not mean that Woody is still going to stay full-time. He could get a different position in the Trump administration. But I think a lot of people just assumed Woody Johnson would get that job and he would be gone. That is not the case. At least not yet. So Trump names businessman Warren A. Stevens as the ambassador to the UK. I still think Woody's going to get some sort of position, but that just broke moments ago. What other countries are left to be an ambassador for? Ladies and gentlemen, Craig in Australia. Maybe Woody could head down to Australia and Craig could get to meet good old Woody. I think we should run a competition to guess the new way the Jets lose each week. This is literally one comp. They're guaranteed to win every time. One competition, they're guaranteed to win every time. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing if you think about it, right? We gave the stat earlier on the first show. The Jets have been the betting favorite in 9 of their 12 games this year. It's the first time a team has been a favorite in 9 of their 12 games and is 3-9 or worse. I mean, it's historic how this team finds ways to lose. They've lost 4 games in which they blew fourth quarter leads. They've lost 6 one-score games by an average of 3.17 points per game. Jets, man. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. I hope everyone enjoyed Neil's song. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to a guy who, without a shadow of doubt, had a phenomenal Thanksgiving.
It's time for another Vman call. Hopefully he no sleeping. Adios mío.
Vman? Oh, God, is he sleeping? Vman! I can't tell if he's sleeping because his head is not in the shot. Vman, you up? Sound the alarms, people. If you're wearing headphones, here's your warning. There we go. He's awake.
I was waiting, honestly.
No, you were asleep, is what you were.
Actually, no, I wasn't.
No, you were asleep. Chat will tell you were asleep. I went to you for several seconds before you finally woke up after I played the alarm.
I didn't even know.
You can't talk yourself out of this one.
I honestly didn't know my camera was acting up a little funny, so I couldn't tell that you even pulled me up.
Well, you're not listening to the show because you were sleeping?
No, I wasn't asleep.
All right, we ran a poll earlier involving Gary. Let's run a poll right now involving V-Man. Was V-Man sleeping?
I already said, look, I'll swear on my honor. I'll put my honor on the line. Okay?
Is it possible you were in a haze? You were maybe drowsy?
Okay, I was drowsy.
Okay. I'm still gonna run the poll anyway, though.
Yeah, I know, and I know it's gonna. I know how it's already gonna go. So let's actually talk football, because I mean, it's miserable Jets season. You just wondering when is this going to end. We've seen it. So many teams have had, their run of misery come to an end, and you just sit there wondering, when is it our time?
What did you dream about when you were sleeping?
I'm gonna answer that question. Let's just talk. When is it? When is it our time? Like, when is it our time?
Did you see Charles's call earlier in the show, or were you sleeping for that?
That was crazy. That was a little bizarre.
Did you hear what he said about dreams?
No.
How if you poop in a dream, you poop in real life?
You mean just quoting a Family Guy bit?
Apparently.
No, let me just read. But I'm talk. So as I was saying,
You can't even formulate a sentence right now. You're so groggy.
well, like I was gonna go back to talk about, like so many teams have had their breakthrough. It's like it's just watching this team. Like they just find new. This like each week you don't think it can get worse, but somehow it just finds a way to get more pathetic with each week. And it's just disgusting to see, and it is just disgusting. And I really don't know at this point what the answer is, but it's I just want the season to be over with. I just like really, I'm looking forward to this off season. Finally,
You want the Jet season to be put to bed?
I see what you're doing here.
Good. I'm glad.
But no, I mean, let's be. But yeah, like I said, I agree with you. I'm not sold on the idea of any particular side of the ball. I just want experienced guys in here that are going to be able to right the ship, because that's what the priority is. It's not about having, the flashiest offense or the most stingiest defense. It's just about having, accountability. Players that are going to be smart and not make these dumb mistakes, and that's a team that's going to be fighting every snap and every second of the game. That's what you want.
Altoona writes in, solely based on this call, I could see Vman getting serious consideration for GM.
I'm not crazy. Yeah, to be honest, you gotta be crazy to want to operate in that position for New York.
How was your Thanksgiving, V-Man? How was the food you prepared?
It was fine, I've done better.
Bo writes in, keep your eyes open, V-Man. You're almost done.
They are open.
Tom Ace says, V-Man sounds like he's going to fall asleep during his own call.
No, I can't. I got to take the dogs out right after this.
Really? Maybe the cold will wake you up.
Maybe. But yeah, no. How was your Thanksgiving, Jake?
It was all right. It was fine.
Yeah.
I had steak.
It's steak?
Yep.
Your family doesn't do turkey?
We do turkey, but I'm not a turkey guy. So there was a steak option as well.
You're a very smart person then.
Yep. Shout out to Uncle Evan.
Yeah, no, it's I never got the turkey is always to me just a very dry meat. It's very dry. It doesn't really hold on to flavor. It's very difficult to get it to flavor.
It reminds me of this call. In fact, very dry, lack of energy. Lethargic.
Like I said, yeah, no. These days, I'm always like this.
These days?
Yeah, it's the day where I come back from work, the day. Because, I worked, I just came back. I did an overnight. So,
right.
I'm a
when
big...
When are you working next?
I go into work next Wednesday night.
All right. Wait. This upcoming Wednesday, or you're off for a week right now?
This upcoming Wednesday, and I had, miserable week because the other day, my coworker decided to do a no-show, and it's because I do securities, because I'm on the floor. So at night, so in the daytime, as it goes into the early morning, sometimes if they're short staffed, I have to cover on the floor, on the lobby floor of the building. And so when that happens, I can't leave at 8:00. I can only leave when my replacement shows up. And my replacement did a no-show, called out last second, didn't tell anybody.
You should be fired.
And I got stuck there for an extra hour. standing on the lobby of a building, after after standing up there for hours, and I wanted to get home. This was Friday morning, and I wanted to get home and I was exhausted, and I had to sit there for a whole hour, and they didn't know. They couldn't find this guy. He completely disappeared off the map. And I got
thought about getting a different job so you're not working overnights.
I thought about it, but right now it's the best situation.
Okay. Does anyone have a job for Vman? All right. You never know. Just to throw it out there. This community amazes me.
Yeah, it does.
What are some of your skill sets, V-Man? Give us the resume real quick. What do you do well? Some skills, all that. We know you can cook. We know you could sleep. What else?
Like I said, I'm quick to adapt.
Okay.
Very good at doing anything that's routine. I'm very good at picking. Like I said, very good at doing anything routine.
Okay. That's important.
Honestly, I'm just too tired I'm just too groggy to clearly lay it out. But
why don't we do this? We'll let you go. You'll get some sleep. You'll call back this week, and we'll break down some potential jobs that might be a fit for you. Does that make sense?
All right. Well,
we'll do a mock job interview.
All right.
Does that work?
Yeah, sure thing.
We did learn that routine is your specialty, though. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know you're good at dog walking as well.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you could be a professional dog walker.
I'll talk to you later, Jake.
All right, V-Man, you get some sleep, all right?
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, V-Man.
That's the end of this Vman call. Time for him to get back to pooping.
I think we got something with V-Man. Altoona writes in, there's an opening for head of security at Nakatomi Tower. Altoona sandwich, everybody. Operation Get V-Man a Job is our latest side storyline for the month of December on the show. God, imagine a world where the Jets are not 3-9 in December. How much fun this would be. What a world. PZ says, can he work at the other guy's shoe store? Bonesy, can you hire V-Man? He does take the train to Grand Central. Maybe, hold on. Maybe that could work. Also, that was a Die Hard reference that went right over my head until I just remembered. Thank you, Altoona. Shout out to Bruce Willis. Bill M. Bobby has to interview him. All right, we can make that happen. Bobby, let me know if you feel comfortable interviewing V-Man so we can get a better idea on what he's qualified to do. That has happened in the show's history before. We'll never forget the great Bobby interview of Cheats fan from over the summer. We still had hope about this Jets football team. Some tough questions were asked that day, but they were questions that obviously needed to be asked. And we'll ask the questions on the show. We're not afraid of those. That's it. We'll ask the questions that need to be asked. We always have on the show. And we always will. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. You've missed a lot if you tuned in late. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello once again to Nick Shine and Addison this time. Hello, Nick Shine and Addison.
Jake, this is a program where breaking news has to come, and we come to you right now under one of the greatest moments in Jake Asman show, Nick Shine life, and Addison, unknown of his last name, life. Martinez. Oh, that's not stereotypical. We just got invited in and met the Gorman family.
Wow.
Yes. Tremendous. Charles invited us in. We accepted. Very nice people.
Wow.
Very
Very
kind.
This is huge. Yeah. What happened? We need the full breakdown.
All right. They were in the middle of dinner, but they were very kind and generous and brought us in. And Charles introduced us as his friends from YouTube. They did offer us food and beverage, and offered us to sit down. But Addison's like, I'll be sitting for the next 6 hours on a plane. I'm good right now. Thank you. Gave us a little background. Mr. Gorman gave us a little bit of his history as a Jet fan, and very kind. Mrs. Gorman ends up working with one of my best friend's wives over at a school in town as well. So a very kind, warm, welcoming family. And the brother Eddie we had met earlier, and it was tremendous. Very, very kind people. And I did get the blessing from the parents to, if I wanted to bring Charles to a game, I could.
Yes.
I did also apologize to them and said, I do the late night shows for the Jets YouTube, and sometimes when you yell at Charles at night, that's me. That's my fault.
This is incredible.
So we're in with the family, and it was awesome.
Now, when Charles introduced you guys as his friends from YouTube, what was the initial reaction?
Seeing real people on the internet.
Yeah. He's like, this is actual people I've made friends with, and they're very caring community. I mean, they're not the largest people, Charles, you've met Charles, I would say both parents are similar in height. So you see me and Addison walk in, and people were like, holy crap, who's this giant in my house? But like I said, they were very kind, very welcoming, very warm, and very awesome people. And you can see how Charles is raised with the respect and the manners that he has.
Yes.
It's incredible. I love it. Now, I mean, the question has to be asked. Did the chicken soup recipe come up at all in the conversation?
We took it off the fridge.
Wow, there it is.
no, okay. That's an old car bill. I told Addison get me a piece of paper out of the glove box because I knew you would ask.
I gotta ask the questions.
Of course, I knew it was
people
coming, man.
need to know.
But it was the first meeting. Maybe the second or third meeting, I break that ice. Now that she knows, I know one of her friends she works with. I wanted to ease in there. I didn't want to look like it was a recon mission, but there will be a recon mission in the future.
This is a tremendous outcome to what I thought was already an all-time show, with Gorman calling it earlier with you guys. But the fact that you met the Gormanis, I mean, it's as good as it gets.
Whoever thought something good would come out of Stoner not being able to figure out East Coast time flight?
You're all welcome. You are all welcome.
Incredible. Well, I'll tell you what.
Tremendous.
Addison, you have a safe flight, and Nick Shine, we thank you for your service. You've done yeoman's work with this.
Thank you, Jake. Jake, I wouldn't have come out here if it wasn't for you guys and Nick Shine and Bobby and all the great guys that I met over this little dumb program and this stupid ass team.
Oh, wait, one more thing. You gotta send me $20 if you want the recipe.
Yeah.
You gotta send me $20, Jake.
Okay, Bobby, thank you.
Later, pal.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine and Addison, after beating the Charles Gorman family. This has been a show for the history books, folks. A show unlike any other.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I burped.
Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps one last call before we wrap. We say hello to Nate, parentheses Nate. Hello, Nate.
Jake, I'll make it through this call and I'm going to sleep.
I'm amazed you're still going, Nate. You drove up to and from Vermont all in one day to pick up Bobby Midnight, and you survived.
28 plus hours. It was wild. Not only that, and then Addison and I had to do a little work and bike around the city for my job. So we didn't get back until 5 a.m. after returning the car at 2 a.m. And It was pretty much wire to wire. Like we picked up the car at 2 a.m., got to Bobby 5 a.m., threw him in the back of the car, in the city by 8, got the bagel to the parking lot 9:30, 10. The Jets happened. Left by 5 o'clock. Traffic was crazy. We grabbed the slice off the bridge at 7. Back to Bobby's by 10:30. Swung around, got gas in 60 seconds. Got the car back with 3 minutes to spare, so I didn't get charged another day. And then it was like a scene out of Harold and Kumar. Like Addison and I looked at each other after we got the car back and was just like we could take a deep breath. Like, what the fuck just happened? Like, it was like a movie. It was incredible. It was wild. Addison traveled 700 miles, and that was his 35th birthday. It was the day of his birthday where he didn't sleep, and all of this happened. It was 700 miles he traveled via car, 40 miles on bike. He did 5 states in 24 hours: Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. Been to none of them. Clancy was awesome. Came along with the ride. Helped out a ton with Bobby in the back. Got Bobby gloves and warm stuff when he needed to. He did probably 350 miles. Clancy biked with us over the bridge at 5 a.m. He did 20 miles on the bike. Clancy's never been to either of those 3 states too. I was shocked. He grew up in Jersey, never been to Connecticut. So it was like showing all these guys around. It was wild. And then I have one story that I don't think you heard, but I think people that heard it on Nick's show last night might have heard. That happened on 179th and Broadway. Do the people know?
You could share the story.
Well, I told you we had to go wire to wire. So we had to fill up the car, get pizza. Like, all of this had to happen all at once, right off the George Washington Bridge. We get the pizza. Bobby's still in the car because getting in the car is like a 10-minute process. So we're just like, shove the pizza in the back, enjoy Bobby. We get the gas. At this gas station, the guy's cleaning the bathroom. He's like, maybe 15 minutes. I don't have 15 minutes. I'm like, Bob, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull around the corner. I know a quiet block. Addison's gonna, light up. We're gonna act like we're nonchalant. You'll face the building, and you'll like he really had to pee. It was like he was in the back of the car. He wasn't eating the pizza. He literally was just like, and just like that little kid moaning when it's like about to come out. And I knew, like, if he peed in the car, I don't know. I wouldn't have gone back that night with the piss in the car. But I didn't want him to stay with Addison. It would have been wild. So I knew we had to swing a right. We're on 179th and Broadway. Anyone can go out and check it out if they need to. Right past the GWB, right past the like some big Palace Theater or something right there. Swing a right. There's a little like flower stand cuts. There's a little angle. So I'm like, Addison, that's a spot. Double park. Almost no cars can get by. We go, Bobby, right there. There's your little spot. Jake, he drops all of his pants at once. Like,
God.
Sweats, long johns, and underwear all hit the turf where like a homeless man was sleeping maybe 10, 15 feet behind him, right? He's facing it and he goes, yeah. He's first of all, no hands. He's got so whatever's happening down there is just like kind of spraying. Or I would assume, again, I was on the backside of it, but both views weren't great. You're in an unfortunate situation, both sides. But I'm trying to watch for oncoming people. Bobby won't shut the fuck up. Bobby's just, oh, Nate, this is a lot better than I thought. I wasn't. Bobby, shut up, stop talking, let it flow. And he's just going, you're right. I shouldn't be talking. But people kept coming. So every time they came, I'm like, Bobby, quiet. Yeah, Nate, you're right. I shouldn't be talking. Oh, but this is really, and they're. People, Jake, you had never seen. I don't know if you've ever seen someone give a quadruple take. Have you ever seen that where it's like walking by? Oh, a homeless man. Oh, a fucking homeless man peeing. Is that the fucking moon? Is that what type of white asshole is that? and then on top of that, Jake, the pee was just it wasn't on the floor. It was like a little bit was on his foot. It was flowing out of both, like somewhere in the middle, and then he kind of turned around, right? So finally we're done after maybe you could have played at least 2 songs. He's flowing for like 5 minutes. It was incredible. Picks up everything. Goes, Nate, that was great. I was like, this is my first time in 56 years. There's a fucking, it's on his shoes. There's a 2-inch circumference circle. Bang, right? Like, he goes, oh, I'm not done. He wasn't done. It was, I grabbed every water bottle I had in my car and I didn't say anything to him and just like, oh, did I get it on me? And Bobby, don't worry. I just soaked him with all the water I had. And then we rolled down the windows, and at that point, I had 6 hours to like make this round trip,
Oh my God.
throw him out of my back seat, and then like get back to the Avis thing. So that I'm sure that the Bronx Bobby River, I call it, is still on 179th and Broadway. But it was flowing. He was a different person after the P. He was holding it for a while. It was a lot of traffic.
Oh my
outside,
God.
but that was
Nate, you are a godsend for what you did for Bobby
fun
Midnight.
tour. It was. I mean, I had Addison, I had Clancy, I had backup with me. They were big help. Everyone at the tailgate was a help. Jay Quest actually stepped up big time. He took Bobby into the stadium. He took him in with the golf cart and met us inside and got him the wheelchair. He got him his ticket. So after that little whatever incident happened when we initially met, it was really all uphill.
Oh no! Hi guys, hi Nate. Isn't Nate
That's part from
unbelievable?
Bobby. After you were, I don't know if you remember, you were face down. He was face down on the asphalt. He can't move. Jay Quest, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah,
He can't move.
My shoulder, I landed on the shoulder so I didn't hit my head on the concrete, right? So I think that's why my shoulder is killing me. Yeah,
Let's review
right?
the tape here. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Jay
All right.
Quest said I almost
Boom.
hit the door, he said, right? Didn't he say I almost hit the door? Remember? With the white door? He should have, that would have been horrible. I was nice and warm in my jacket, as you say.
You look very puffy.
I know. Well, that I had 2 long johns, 2 sweatpants. Then I had a couple of shirts on there, and that's my jacket. So
They're calling this the hump herd around the world, Bobby.
I know, right?
While
Well,
we're
I
reviewing
do-
the tape,
I really do like the sound effect. I didn't know I liked it, but I did. I think it's funny.
that's a great effort by the young Peter in the background there to try to save Bobby's life. Really great.
Yeah, that was funny. Like a cartoon character. Should have put me as a cartoon character. That would have been funny. But at the beginning last night, well, remember I was a little high and a little drunk. I was mad at Gators.
You were on the ayahuasca.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So I thought we were kind of the same height. How tall is Jay Quest? Is he tall?
6'7".
He ain't no 6'7".
I'm definitely getting my $20 worth with this video,
Yeah.
Bobby.
Well, I should have charged you 30, 40. I'm stupid.
Well, I'll give you some more money. People gave some memberships earlier that are going to go to you. Don't worry. I just got to see
Okay,
what the total
yeah.
ended up being when YouTube processes it. Don't worry.
Yeah,
There's more
I
money
heard you.
coming. You're getting a bonus.
I heard you.
Just to be clear, the people can see in the video, Jay Quest didn't push Bobby. Bobby has it's kind of like a spring action. So like,
yeah,
if you're gonna give him a hug, you really have to ease the tension. You can't just like let go of the spring and he'll just kind of bounce back. He doesn't have the best balance. So it's like
I
it's
don't
really
have
that
the
kind of like
best balance.
horizontal spring action. You can't hug
That's
and then
how I got
bounce
hurt in the
back off him.
bathroom. That's how I got hurt in the bathroom. Remember, I told you I had to take pee in the bathroom, and I fell backwards in my bathroom. That's how I fell.
Yep.
I'm clumsy, Jake. I'm clumsy. What the hell? I'm like a fat Oompa Loompa.
You're a fat Oompa Loompa.
Well, I'm trying to lose the weight. I'm down to 272 from 366.
All right. Well, let's keep losing some weight then, baby. Let's go.
Yeah,
Do the Bobby Midnight
Nate
weight
says-
loss challenge.
Nate said I have to start walking. He said,
You do.
I can walk. Yeah, I can walk now. I
Walking,
got
no
nice-
more soda, and we got to change your whole diet. We got to get new. We got to
Right.
get like factory meals to your house. There's no more of these like frozen chicken patties, mac and cheese. You got
No,
fast food
I
by
make
your house.
now I make the real
No,
chicken.
no. You be doing that. You do that. Stop it. You had a soda at 11 a.m. Don't talk to me. We got to
Yeah,
get water.
well,
Water.
that was my cheat
Water.
day. That was my cheat day. Nope, that was my cheat
You got to walk every day, Bobby. That's an immediate thing you could change.
Yeah, I could do that. Now, you know what Nate gave me last night for the cold? I got that face mask. That was real warm. I could use that walking. Yeah. Now I can start walking.
Hey, Bobby.
My friend Addison.
Nate.
Now.
The Bobby Midnight Express. The Bobby Midnight
Let's go.
Express.
Where are you guys? Where are you?
What's Nick, Bobby?
Oh, Nick
Oh,
Shine.
he's at the airport now? Yeah.
Hold
yeah.
on.
No.
Hold on. I was in very unprofessional of me. I was listening to the show while I was in Quick Check getting my coffee.
Oh, I
So.
do that sometimes.
Bobby, you still have your Jet souvenir cup? Show everyone the cup that you have. Do you have it near you?
Yes, I do. Yes, I got it right here. I'll walk
All
over
right.
to. I show you. I walk with my slippers too.
All right.
You my slippers are good. I told you. Now with my, I think I could push myself. I've been doing this all day. So.
Yeah.
Now you go see my fat ass. Okay, I got
And they're off.
Oh, I know where I put it. I was so tired last night.
Jake, you've heard of the tortoise and the hare. This is just the fat ass over there.
I know. I'm the fat ass. I am the fat ass man. I'm trying to lose the weight, guys. I really.
I think it found you, though.
I know it did. Like Nate
So-
said,
So here's the breakdown.
yeah. I got
He
this.
wants a drink. We get him situated at the stadium, and he wants a drink. And he goes, "Hey, can you go get me a soda?" I go, "Bob, what diet?" He goes, "Nah, it's my cheat day. Get me the real stuff." I'm like, "All right."
I don't diet water. I don't drink diet.
He had a Pepsi on his cheat day with a bagel at 8 a.m.
But guys, to be fair, his cheat day started in like 1982. It's still going.
No, that's
one long day.
I'd say cheat days can get a little bit of time under you before you know it.
Oh, so you're Mr. Slim, huh?
Yeah,
No.
I am compared to where I was. I'll send you a picture.
Yeah, to me, yes. Yeah, to me, yeah.
Hey, also, Nate, screw you. I heard that laugh, you bastard.
Well, he's not. He laughs at everything. Come on.
He does.
Yes, my ass hanging out. He was laughing. He was dying laughing. And then you want to hear a funny story? Addison's father called that time. Addison's father was on the phone too. We forgot to say that. That was hilarious.
Did you tell them what I saw when I was on the phone?
You gotta get going.
What did you see? What did
Your
you
butt.
see? I know.
Your butt.
bro. Full moon over Miami, New York. Full moon over. That's why I can't. I don't want to show girls my fat ass. What are you talking
Oh, they'll love
I
it,
know.
Bobby.
No,
Bobby,
way.
overall, you had a very good time, though, correct?
Yes,
Bobby,
he
how
did.
much do you weigh right now?
272.
All right, the
All right,
Bobby
what
diet
would
starts
be an
today.
acceptable weight for you to get to show the young girls your ass?
Well, I want to get down to 245. That's how much I weighed when I was married to my ex-wife.
245 is the first goal. Then let's work towards it. Let's go.
Yeah. Because my ex-wife cheated and divorced me, so I gained 121 pounds.
No, you get the 244, so you're better now without her. You understand?
All right, 44.
Hell
then,
yeah.
okay? Let's shoot it
Yeah,
for low.
244 is the goal.
This is
Hell
where the
yeah.
magic happens. That's where the magic
What's
happens.
that? That's where you drove?
No, that's where the Bronx Bobby River now exists.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see it now.
Oh, it's a sheet of ice. Kids are probably
Bobby,
ice
you were
skating
there
on it
for
right now.
7 minutes. How could you not recognize it?
I thought it was a map.
Bobby, was it one of those scenes where you don't even know where you were because your eyes were rolling back in your head the entire time because it felt so good to get
First, I was a little high and a little drunk.
little.
No, I was kind of high, right?
Bobby P with both hands on the ball.
Well, I could. There's nothing to hold down there, so I don't know.
All right.
With-
well, we
With
have
Bobby's luck, somebody probably got murdered and they're taking fingerprints off of that wall today, and his fingerprints are going to be out like a crime scene.
Probably.
All right, Bobby, we have a new weight loss goal. We're going to start
Yes.
the process to get you down to 244. Sound good?
Yeah, or even better than that, maybe. Even
Yeah,
better.
well, we got to start
Hell yeah.
somewhere, all right? So from this
Yeah,
day
that's
forward,
the goal.
the Bobby weight loss journey begins.
Okay, and then what about if I weigh myself every week? How's that? Good.
All right, well, we got to be healthy first. And
So
then we can
what
worry
day
about
do you think? What day of the week should I weigh myself? Sundays or what? What day?
I'm not a
Do
dietitian. I don't
Saturday
know.
because it sounds like Sunday's your cheat day. I would do Saturday and
Okay, I'll do Saturday.
Monday, and let's just have fun with it.
What? Monday? Let's do Saturday.
We'll do Saturday.
I'll do it live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Bobby weight loss journey is underway.
Oh no!
What a show this has been, huh? Shout out to Nate and Addison. What they did for Bobby is remarkable. Everyone who took care of Bob at the game yesterday. Amazing community. Big fella, thank you for the super chat. 2 amazing shows. This community is the best. Everyone who watches this show, the greats. The greatest. I mean, what else could be said? We're talking about a 3-9 football team, and there's thousands who are going to watch this video. Jared writes in, with the Jets being the most penalized team in the NFL for a decade, would you recommend their next head coach's ideology should be? What would you recommend? I think they need a disciplinarian. I think they need a tough, no-nonsense guy that could change the culture overnight. They need a Parcells type guy. That's Mike Vrabel to me. He's not Parcells, but yeah, I think Chris Sims made the comp. He's the closest to Parcells that there is. I agree. Brian Flores, high on my list. I think Pete Carroll's a culture changer. He wouldn't be here long, but a couple of years, get the staff in line, change the culture. I'm open to that. I think Rex, with his experience, would get some consideration. I mean, I want someone with experience. Board Fat gifted 5 channel memberships. Board Fat, as always, you are the absolute best. If you hear your name called, you're a channel member. Yainir Rivera, Jack Needham, James Fitzpatrick, Lucky Luke, all receiving channel memberships. There might have been one more that slipped in there. Let's see. I think that was 5. Appreciate it. That was the first gifted membership we got during this hour and 41-minute show. Yikes. All right. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. Will Parkinson joined us for the first 45 minutes of the show. I see a comment here. Jake, what happened to Joe today? Joe has COVID, so he was supposed to come on this morning. We pushed it back to the afternoon. He's sick. Joe B, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. I know he did his weekly hit on the other station in town, but they pay him a lot of money. So Joe said he had to do it, which I get. But he'll be joining us tomorrow, so don't worry. We talked about Woody not being the UK ambassador earlier, Matthias. Go back. I'll talk more about it tomorrow when we get more info. Anyway, thank you all for your support. This was a great show. Today was a great day. I paid $20 to Bobby for the right to show one of the great videos in the history of this show.
Oh no!
I think I won the deal. I got to go. I got plans tonight. Thank you all for your support. Before we get out of here, I was hosting the Michael K. Show on Black Friday. I filled in for the guys. It was me and Ty Butler. When Bobby Midnight called in. Enjoy this, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow with Beningo at 10 a.m. Go Jets.
Absolutely. 800-919-3776. Look at that. We gave a shout out to the Asmaniacs, and now we have one on the line. Let's go to Vermont and hit up Bob. What's up, Bobby? Happy Thanksgiving, brother.
Bobby.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Hey, Jake, how you doing?
Bobby, I'm doing great.
Didn't I talk to this guy before? I think he's a funny guy.
You love Ty Butler.
Yeah, I talked to him before, remember?
I'm sure you have. Yeah, he's a big fan of yours.
What's up, Bobby?
Oh, he is. Yeah, I'm a big fan of you too. You played for the, what team, Jets, you said?
That I play for the Jets?
What team do you play for?
That I currently play for?
Yeah.
I'm the left tackle I'm the left tackle for the New York Jets.
Oh, you are the left tackle for the New York Jets?
He is, yep.
All right. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'm a big Jet fan. So I think hopefully they're going to win this weekend because I'm going to the game this weekend. They're going to kidnap me to go down.
They're going to kidnap you?
They tell me what time they're picking me up, 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm going to be, it's going to be cold that game that weekend. I think they're going to win.
You think they're going to beat Seattle this weekend? Well, look, appreciate the call, Bob. So my question would be, Jake, if the game's at 1 o'clock, why are you getting picked up at 5 a.m.?
Well, he's in Vermont. It's a far hike from Vermont to MetLife Stadium. You got to leave at 5 in the morning for a 1 o'clock kickoff.